Welcome to the Bottomless Rugby game preview. This is just three boys talking about sports brawls, and this week it's rugby. We're going to talk about Super Rugby AU and Super Rugby Aotearoa. I'm so sorry about that. I actually watched an entire video on how to pronounce it correctly and still butchered it. So,
how long was that video?
It was 3 minutes of pain and they actually showed you how you meant to pronounce Maori words completely, and their way of pronouncing A and O together is longer thing. So
well, clearly the video wasn't good enough for you.
No, I need something better. I
shouldn't have skipped the ads.
I have YouTube Premium, so don't talk to me like that, okay? You ain't on my financial level. Boom. Next thing.
You're the one guy who signed up to YouTube Premium.
Do you know how it feels like to watch YouTube without ads, not having to use ad blocker? I can't afford viruses coming up in my situation. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. But yeah, game number one, we're going to start off with Australia, then move to New Zealand because you got to start with the boring. So then the exciting, otherwise we'd sleep if we did the other way around. So game number one of the weekends, Reds versus Western Force. Dup, what are your three main thoughts on this game?
All right, guys. So my 3 points for this match at number one, right? Can the Force forwards man up to that Reds pack? The Reds, we've seen, they have a solid scrum in this competition. And the key question is going to be, can the Force stop that momentum up front? That is the real question. If they can do that, I think their chances are going to be better, right? Point number two, right? The X factor. The Reds team, they decided to bring back in Chris Fautas-Sautia. He has a lot of X factor. You also consider they have Daugunu at the other wing, and then Harry Wilson's been playing fantastic this year. There's a lot of X factor in this Reds team. Last week was absolutely terrible, but if there's no water involved in this game, I think there's going to be a big factor. Point number three, do not bet against the house. There hasn't been any away wins yet in Super Rugby Australia, and I don't see this going anywhere else. Super Brew Insights have Reds by 9. The bookies have Reds by 15. I think it's a safe bet. Go anywhere between that. I think it's a 2-try victory for the Reds at home. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I say the home team always wins, so no point. I'm just hoping that you don't have to go through sleep again live tweeting.
Me too, eh? Me too.
Yeah. Okay, and so Jason? Sorry. Speak,
no problem.
Jason.
We'll just move on to that next one.
Oh, want to move on. You ain't about this live. Okay.
I watched the Force once. I don't want to talk about them again, really,
Right,
so
Reds
moving
versus
on
Brumbies.
to Waratahs versus Brumbies.
Man, my eyesight is terrible.
Man's getting old.
Wow.
All right, so let's go. Point number one. It's a flash in the pan. So that second half of the Waratahs versus Force game, we saw, in my opinion, glimpses of the Waratahs team of old, the one that was always competing with the Brumbies for the top spot in the competition. For me, the big thing is whether they're actually going to be able to sustain that and carry it on, especially when they're playing the big boys of Australia, Brumbies. My second point is wholesale changes. So it's a very different Waratahs team coming in this week than what was against the Force. So they got Robertson back in at prop, a lot of experience coming in there. They've got a Super Rugby debutant, Fortin, coming in for Abel at hooker, which I think is good because Abel was conceding a lot of penalties in those last games. They've got MC coming in a flank, and the backline is completely reshuffled. Hunter's come in at 12. Walton's moved from 12 to 13. Houston has moved from 13 to 11. And I hate this name, Nawaka Tiwasawe has been benched. Now, this is going up against Brumbies team that is very much unchanged apart from Banks coming in at the back, which can only help improve them. So, are they going to be too disheveled to be able to continue their form from that Force game? Time will tell. Yeah. And my third and final point is the kicking game. Both teams in their last game did very well in the kicking game, used the 50-22 rules well. Tactical kicking was very good. Lasio for the Brumbies, we know he's class with that. And like Harrison, Maddox, and Hunt were doing very well with that as well. So I think whoever can dominate the kicking game is going to have a very big chance for taking this match. But personal prediction, I think consistent Brumbies going to be by 13 at least, and that's going to be my pick. So, gents, I know you guys like Australian rugby, so let me hear your comments on this.
Well, since I love Australian rugby that much, I will say this. I agree with you, Brumbies by 13. I think that consistency for them is key. Waratahs have been disrupted anyway. They had changes before this last match as well, with tried a different front row, did not work. I don't think the Waratahs are going to get much out of this game.
Yeah, I think the back line for the Brumbies is too fire, and their forward pack should easily dominate the Tars forward pack. So I don't even know why the Tars are here. They're just like a waste of space in this tournament at the moment. Actually, just I feel like Steve Hansen when it comes to Australia. We've all done our dues. Even South Africa, we've given them these guys everything, and what have they given us in return? Bad teams. Now we won't talk about the fact that they
bad rugby.
Yep, they can't. What can they win? But we won't comment on that. Tell them to win a World Cup. It's been a long time. Well, sorry, something's very wrong. Oh my goodness, my eyesight is terrible. All right, moving on to the next game. For some more reason, I saw Sharks and I was like, what? The next big game for the weekend, the Hurricanes versus the Blues. Jason, take us forth.
I'll be taking that. So, point number one, let's just get straight into it. Can the Hurricanes play for full 80 against the Blues? So, yes, they're on the back of two good wins, but in both of those games, they had at least a 2-try lead over the opposition, and they let them come back in. Against this Blues side, like that can really cost you in the end. So if they want to win this, they're going to have to play for the whole 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Second point is that this is actually a perfect time for the Hurricanes to strike. So the Blues have a lot of their vital players absent. No Parsons at hooker, no Gibson at flank, no Clark on the wing. Carter was meant to start but tweaked his calf in training, and no Satutu. So they are fairly weakened.
Yeah.
And you have, for the Canes, they have Coles coming back. They have Prinsep coming back. Also out in Amaga Jensen in, that's like kind of the same. And then Garden Batchup in for Fletcher again. And you're not losing much there. So I think it's a very good time for the Hurricanes to play this Blues team. And finally, point number 3, can the Blues bounce back? So it's the first time in their very long good run that they've actually had a hard knock. They lost against the Crusaders. Yeah. This is going to test their caliber against the resurgent Hurricanes team. So we're going to see, are they still the Blues of old, or have they stepped up another level to be able to compete here? Guys, what do you think about that?
Firstly, as somebody that's been through a calf injury before, that Dupe laughed at, I know Carter's pain, okay? I understand Dan Carter on a spiritual level. I've been there, Dan. I know how it feels. So I understand. As much as I want to see Carter play, which is, I feel like the tease of the tournament, waiting for Carter to come. But yes, one more week, and the man is back.
So based on you, that's like a 2-year recovery period.
It's not been tears. It was the beginning of last year, okay?
First of all, right, Kai, I'm pretty sure yours is way funnier than Dan Carter's, right?
Wow.
Second of all, guys, this game is a tight one. I do not know which way to call this, actually, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of changes for the Blues. Hurricanes kind of look better. They got a victory. Blues got a loss. You don't know which way the momentum is. There's a lot of questions. I don't know which way this is going to go. I think those changes for the Blues might be a good thing at this time now, you know. So some guys who want to prove a point might mean they switch back on immediately again.
Yeah. All right.
I just want to add to that. I forgot to include. My prediction is that I actually think this game might go to that golden extra time, and I think that it's now going to be I think then the Blues will win it in extra time by 3. I forgot to mention that earlier, but that's my prediction for this match.
Oh, that's great. Okay, that's perfect. But I still say the Blue. I agree. Blues will win this game. No changes. So the big fourth game, which is the one where I wake up and no one else wakes up, is the Chiefs versus Highlanders. 3 simple points here. Number 1, will Mackenzie finally score a try? Because all the other 15s are scoring, but he's not. And it's odd to see that New Zealand is so competitive that he's currently like not even the top 3 in terms of form. So, yeah, like in New Zealand, you can't even rest for 30 minutes. That's what Rico did last year. He scored 9 tries, but Bridge scored 11, and he ended up not being the starter. Number 2, will Gatland's record continue? Like, this man is heading towards a 0-8 record, which Dup and I are, and I'm sure Jason also just want to see, because I want to see this man demoralized. I want him to come here next year done. Like, be over sport. And basically, yeah, I want them to lose, but just purely for out of hatred reasons. You know, it's similar to why I don't like seeing Bernard Foley thriving. It just doesn't make me happy. And my final point for the weekend is, what chance do the I want to say what chance do the Chiefs have? But with the Highlanders, I actually want them to pull in a full, complete performance. Every week, I feel like they just threaten us with good performance, but they don't give us the full 80 minutes. And I just want to see a complete 80-minute performance from them, because they have the potential to be one of the best teams here, but they just keep like tripping over their own feet at key times. Last week, they went to sleep when Perinaro was around the ruck, and he just like jogged over for a try. And so I want to see them step up this year and like show us that they are going to be the best in the future. My prediction for the game, Highlanders by 10. And that's me being conservative.
Highlanders by 10.
Yes.
Wow, I will be honest. I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion that this Chiefs side is overdue on a decent performance. I do not believe that they're actually as bad as their record shows. And even Gatland's got to figure something out at some point. His history has shown it. So I have a sneaky suspicion. I think this one could be tight. I'm leaning towards the home side, but I 100% want the Highlanders to win. I'm all for Team Gatland 0-8.
As someone who adopted the Highlanders as my New Zealand side, I can tell you, since losing guys like Superwanga, Banks, and like Naholo, they have made a habit of losing games they should win.
Yeah.
So I will not be surprised if the Chiefs take this match. But honestly, I just think the players themselves are so demoralized as well. I can't see, unless there's a really good motivational speech in those change rooms, I can't see the Chiefs pulling it together for a win. And Gatland, I think the frustration is just going to peak and peak and peak. And yeah, I'm not sure what mental state he's going to come into the British and Irish Lions tour, and if he does make it 0-8.
Yeah. Oh my, that man will be defeated by us. So yeah, just a quick roundup point. Let's see how good your prophet skills are. Who do you think will be the best player this weekend? Who do you predict as the man of the match?
For which tournament?
Let's go one in New Zealand and one in Australia.
Okay.
I have one. I think it's going to be Harry Wilson for the Reds.
Okay.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching Maddox for the Warriors. Him and Hooper were the two main guys carrying that team. So I think Maddox has got a good shot for it this weekend from the Australian competition.
Well, I'm going to back my boy, James O'Connor. This is a time for him to shine. Finally, I hope.
You never know.
I thought you were going to go for Damian McKenzie because you even asked the question, is McKenzie going to score the try? You know, like
Thing is,
this is the prediction you need to make. The time is now to go for bold prediction. Even if they lose, it should be the best. You can even say that.
problem Mackenzie winning is like the possibility whenever he plays well, the rest of the team plays well, and they could win. And I don't need a win. I'd rather have them lose than anything else. So yeah, all right, gents, it's been a good one. In a quick, complete side note, talk about halftime chats. Your teams in 3 lines. What do you say to your team when they're down 49-0 at halftime in a rugby game? Obviously,
This is what you say to the guys. Number 1, don't get hurt. Number 2, don't give up. Number 3, just have some fun.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Just be like, gents, it's late. Let's just not make it more embarrassing. Let's finish the match, okay?
I got one thing I would say, like, guys, I'll be applying for a new job this weekend. So goodbye.
You have failed them. Yes, you better get fired. It's
I
not their
would walk
fault.
away before the halftime
It's not
chat.
their fault. You know, it's never the
Hey.
player's fault.
Cough, cough, Jason.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you, Duke.
All right. Any last words, gents, before we hit the streets?
No, just everyone, enjoy some weekend brews and, come check us out on Twitter. We're all going to be live tweeting our respective matches we gave the preview for, and have a good weekend.
Yeah, and if you're in South Africa, that brew is literally just coffee or tea. So enjoy.
Cheers.
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 All righty.